I'm Richard Lewis, reporting for Cadderhead.org, and I'm in familiar surroundings outside of an Irish bar, but not entirely familiar because I'm in a place called Krefeld. It's not far from Dusseldorf in Germany, and I'm here covering the HomeStory Cup number 5. It's the first time that Cadderhead has come to an event that's exclusively StarCraft 2, so I'm hoping we're going to shed the tag that we're that source website, when of course we haven't been for some time, and perhaps even myself might shed that tag that source journalist, because I've only been working in esports approximately a decade and have covered about 20 or so different games. But I'm not going to stand here and bitch about you. It may seem an odd setting being outside of a bar because we're not at a LAN, or are we? We're at the HomeStory Cup. It's completely different to any LAN that you would probably see on the circuit, and it was put together by Dennis Gehlen, a luminary in the scene, a former player, someone who has really put together something very special and unique, and I'm going to tell you why before I take you inside for the traditional tour, and that is literally it's in his home. That apartment over there, that's his home. Great to have an apartment outside of a bar. It started out small, not in that flat. He had to relocate, but we'll come to that in a moment. It started out small, just a few friends, a few of his German colleagues coming round, drinking some beers, playing some games, and they streamed some of the games. And ultimately it grew more and more popular. And then he said, you know, look, how popular can we make this? How big can we make this? And with the support of the community, the support of very good sponsors, and with the support of the players, now he's having a LAN in his home, in his living room, that's got the same prize fund as DreamHack, €25,000. So it's a really great story. He's a really great guy, and he kindly extended an invite to us because he really wanted us to be here. So I'm chuffed to bits to be here. I'm definitely going to be hitting this bar later. I'm told it's open late. But just before we go in, I'm going to take you in to the apartment. Now, as you'll know, if you followed these tours before, you know we like to do it continuously in one take. And we're going to have to take you through a bit of a dark passageway here. Don't worry, though, it is a safe area. We're not going to get in any trouble. Voice might go a little bit echoey. But yeah, if you haven't watched one of our tours before and you're thinking, who's this dickhead? Well, again, sorry about that. I can't really explain my history in a short little bit, but if you go into our YouTube channel at Cadderhead Clips, which is soon to be defunct, you'll be able to see more of these style tours. And there's not going to be as much banter or as much joking around in this one, because ultimately people don't know who the fuck I am, and you know, there's no real back and forth. Plus as well, in StarCraft 2 they are a little bit serious. We've got some characters here, but most of them are in the press, most of them are shoutcasters. So anyway, we're going to come in through here. This is the press area. I'm being told that we're going to expand the press area because right now that is it. But they're going to go to IKEA. I mean, this is how great it is and how on the fly everything's been done. They're going to go to IKEA. We're going to get a couple more tables and we're going to really expand it. But behind us, we've got people obviously doing the stream of all the games. Streaming being the in thing with StarCraft 2. And then if you look over here, you can see as well people watching, playing, sitting around. Banks from Definitive Esports or whatever it is he does. Not doing much, just sat around. I mean, he's actually rendering, because he does video content too, right? But anyway, so this is the designated press area, which is pretty cool. And then in here, this is the main bit where the HomeStory TV is actually taking place, and you can see we've got a familiar face in the form of Bling. If I just bring you in here. And I don't know why I'm whispering, because, you know, obviously there's no need to, and it is someone's home, and because of that you sort of feel a little bit like you're in the way, but you're not apparently. It's cool, everyone just walks around and that's what gives it its unique feel. But this is how they do it, this is how they do the streams. If you just come in here, you can see that basically everyone sits around, they literally just do it on the couch, having a few beers, watching the games, and you can see what they're actually transmitting at the moment on that big screen. The tournament is still going on while we're doing this tour. So I'm just going to bring you through here. This is the main camera. Over here, we've got where the players are actually playing. You can see the trophies there and how he's converted his own home. I have this really awesome studio rig with these big lights up here, and this is where they literally get all the sort of in footage for the player, which you can see on there. So a lot of money. I mean, he was talking about how he could have pocketed some of the money for investment for himself if he wanted to. No one would have complained, but instead he dipped into his own savings that he'd saved up over the last 3 years, so he could have this infrastructure for the players. And this is the bit where I think it gets really cool, because I mean, when you think about like all the lands I've been to, and I've been to some shitty lands, and I've been to some amazing lands. You know, I've been to an ESWC, been to the CGS, and I've been to, you know, Epic Lands in Utoxa, and I've been to lands that don't even exist anymore. And one of the key things is always like, you know, do people look after the press? And some of the biggest lands don't get it right, some of the smallest lands do, and vice versa. It just seems to be a bit of a lottery. And because Dennis has just opened his home, he's actually doing the cooking and the catering, and we've missed it because I actually got delayed in Zurich. But what you've got here is, you know, you've got like, well, this is some yogurt and some jam and some bread, so you can make yourself some sandwiches. There's some pasta been made and some pasta sauce that's kind of going to waste. Game is obviously not that healthy no matter what game they play. But this is the bit I like most of all, is that he filled up a fridge full of the essentials. That was chock-a-block full of beers earlier. Gone. I mean, they've been decimated. I did have a couple myself, not going to lie about it. And then, so he's again, opened his home. We did see Idra earlier as well, wanting to know if we could get into the hard stuff. So just to slip that one in there, he's one of the few people actually doing the drinking. And then in here, whoop, just trip over. Did that on camera, boys. It's pretty good, isn't it? If you come in here, this is the balcony area. And if you look at this, there's no ceiling. But it's still absolutely baking hot. It's like the warmest night in Germany. I don't know how you're coping, dressed in black with your ponytail. That's Jonas. He's the press guy from Alternate. And but so you've got this nice little cool sort of balcony area, not literally cool, unfortunately, where you can just sort of sit down. People come out here, smoke, have a drink, have a beer in between the games, which are literally just going on around us. And then just behind, I'm probably waking everybody up, but there seems to be kind of a little relaxing area there. I mean, funnily enough, when I came here, there was someone face down outside one of the bars, you know, and everyone's obviously having a good time. I thought Stefano might have already arrived. Hasn't. It wasn't him. I did check. But anyway, so again, this is just to give you the kind of feel of what it's like to actually be here at this event. It's literally so casual. Everyone's just enjoying themselves. It's so relaxed. To call it a tournament is a little bit kind of disingenuous in a way, but of course it has got an amazing prize fund. So that's it, because again there's no real massive kind of swooping area to do because it is someone's home. You've pretty much seen most of it. There is I could point you in here, but this room is so absolutely racist. It's so hot. It's just absolutely baking. I mean, it is so bad for a white person who's as pale as me. This room is really oppressive and evil, and like these people, these cultured Europeans are coping with it. I'm like the typical Brit abroad, just lobster red whenever I step in here. So that's it is really bad if you're British. So yeah, I think there's maybe one other room over here to take you into, and I mean, this is, you know, you can see immediately it's a pretty big apartment. If I can just get in here, and I'm not ruining anyone's setup, this is the kind of playing area, and you know, I better not talk too loudly because when people are concentrating they tend to get a bit sensitive. But if you come in, you can just sort of see around it. And it seems we've got people in a relaxed period of time. Thankfully, it's a lot cooler in here compared to the sort of admin area, which is absolutely scorching and baking hot. So we'll quickly leave the premises while people are relaxing between games. And that is it. That is the HomeStory Cup number 5 in a nutshell. So absolutely incredible setup that they've got here. It's hard to believe in many ways that you're at somebody's home, but equally it's got that real homely feel in the same way. So it's something very unique. In all my time covering esports, not been to anything like it. I'm just hoping that the tournament is going to live up to the billing, and certainly we've already had a few kind of exciting bits in the groups, which I'm not going to tell you too much about because you should already know about them by the time I've recorded this. Anyway, do stay tuned to carrad.org. We're going to have loads of awesome coverage. We've lined up video interviews with pretty much everyone, including the man who set it up himself. Dennis will be talking to us later on, so stay tuned to the website where we're going to have loads of coverage from here at the HomeStory Cup 5.